This video is not for whales and dolphins. It's for you, because you are just like me. Average Gamer here, and today I want to talk about Caesar and say that I messed up by skipping her, for real. And if you did what I did and you are struggling through the battle tower now, then I am sorry. So at the time of recording this video, I have now cleared up to floor 25 of the battle tower without Caesar, and I feel pretty good about that, but it was way harder than it should have been, and I absolutely loved it. Now, this video will probably feel a little different to normal, but if I had Caesar, I think I would have found this a lot easier. I'd have been able to play Ju-Yuan more, and everyone else wouldn't have felt so squishy. As I ended up just sticking to Jane for her dodges and counters and all the iframes that she gets when doing that, plus her synergy with Seth, and he was my only shield. And also, I know that I'm not the greatest gamer to have ever graced gacha, but from what I've seen, I think I'm a representation of a slightly below average player in terms of skill, and I'm probably slightly nerdier when it comes to stats and buffs and rotations and stuff, which is why I make videos on the game. But of course, all of this went out the window in the footage you're going to watch of me playing the battle tower because I was so focused on just staying alive, so no brain power was being allocated to thinking about buff uptimes. I was only worried about Seth's shield, and also to all the negativity around my gameplay, just stop. I know I'm not great at the game. I've mentioned it multiple times. Move on. I'm a representation of the average player, who I think is able to hit floor 25, even without Caesar, and if that's you, then I believe in you. Now, back to the topic though. To be clear, the video I made about Caesar when she came out did balance some pros and cons, and as you can see, it says, you shouldn't skip on it. So it's not like I was telling every player to skip her, but following the introduction of this new mode, it definitely now feels like it was a mistake for me to skip. So I'll talk through why I made the decision I made, and it essentially boils down to two things. Me only being able to get one character in the patch, and me loving the heck out of Bernice, and I wasn't thinking about the game was going to get this kind of endgame unlimited floors mode. I guess Ambush Node was our first indication that harder content was coming, but that wasn't too bad without Caesar, and I think if we get a couple of resets on Ambush Node before we get something like this battle tower, and I was wrong. And to be clear, I couldn't be happier to be wrong. This new mode is incredible. It's so fun. The sense of achievement is amazing when you clear something that you were struggling with. It feels like a gacha Dark Souls boss rush, and I have no complaints. And the fact that the mode has come out now in 1.3 is so fast for us to get an endgame flex mode, because you can push higher and higher into the battle tower and then display that on your profile. Or you can clear up to floor 25, get the rewards, and dip out, which is probably what I'm going to do. Now, would I have liked to push deeper? Yeah. Do I realize though that it's probably just going to get really hard without Caesar? Also, yeah. And we've got all the rewards by stopping at level 25. And I think this new mode coming in has made me think more about my supporting characters too. Previously, I was relying on carries and not really worrying about the supports and stunners gear too much. Well, now they die in 1 or 2 hits. Leveling up all their discs and bringing their level up to 60 or as close as I can get it feels necessary. Now, I guess this kind of mode might not necessarily appeal to a lot of players, but I really enjoyed it. And I think that this is the moment where I say, look, if you're in the same boat as me and you did have to choose between a couple of different agents, maybe Jane and Caesar or Bernice and Caesar, and you skipped Caesar too because of things I said, then again, I'm sorry. But I stand by my own decision to pull for Bernice instead of Caesar, because I think she's really cool and I enjoy playing her. And ultimately, that's what the game is about for me. Now, I did have to ditch her to hit floor 25, but I'm okay with that because the Jane hypercarry team with Seth and Lucy is probably the team I feel most comfortable on. I'm still getting used to Bernice in there, to be honest. Ultimately, the goal is to try and win with your favorite characters. And I think if I wasn't making content for the game, I probably would have just left it at floor 20 and then come back and done floor 25 at a later point. But anyway, how is the battle tower going to change my outlook on the game moving forwards? So previously, for me, it was all about prioritizing damage because you needed to clear shield defense critical nodes in a specific time frame. Even though that time was pretty easy to hit, I thought at some point that was going to get harder. Maybe the time drops down, stuff like that. Then Ambush Node came, and my outlook didn't really change that much because the enemies there were strong, yes, but you could still just burst them down relatively quickly with power. But now, with the introduction of the battle tower, it's all about survivability. Shields have become invaluable, and it feels like Avakabu might be meta, which is bizarre. So moving forwards, characters and mechanics or potentially healing will become invaluable, and honestly, I might talk about the recent tier list update on stream sometime, but I think the only truly tier 0 character right now is Caesar. Anyway, I'll chat over my floor 25 clear for anyone who wants to see that, because I didn't do it on stream. I tried for an hour on stream, I came back the next day, quick attempt before work, and I finished it first time. But just quickly before then, this is your reminder that you might not be subscribed. So please consider liking and subscribing, as it really helps out small creators like me. Also join the Discord, follow on Twitch, and thank you so much for all of the support so far. Okay, run the footage. This intro is so fire. With the countdown and the zoom in. So, mostly my thought processes were focused on just making sure that Seth gets his shield up. So, using those assist points appropriately. And making sure that basically I didn't have any time without shield. So you can see we get it up here pretty quickly. I'll also briefly explain that the thought process behind Avakabu, little mistake there, was that he would provide some heals. And that's also why I was using Lucy here, because if you have Lucy, well, you need a support for Avakabu to like function properly, essentially, with his heals. You still get a little bit of heals without, but you'll note over the course of this fight that my health goes up quite a bit. And there's a couple of points, I think, towards the latter stages where I really needed that health. But honestly, I'm mostly focused on just using two characters, which is Jane and Seth. I think my brain's not keeping up fully with also considering Lucy. You can see that she missed the thing and I was ready to switch. Can't trust her. Can't trust her. So yeah, re-up the shield for Jane. And you can see here as well that I'm kind of considering between switching between them by using the lock-on function. And that'll become more important later on because I'm trying to whittle them both down at the same time. Now, they stay so close together that mostly you don't have to think about it too much, but there are some times where you will have to consider it. Yeah, obviously we get Lucy buff back up there because she's above M2, but I wasn't really thinking about that before this point, honestly. A big disorder. Very nice. I think my brain's not working here. Yeah, I wanted to refocus. And yeah, my brain wasn't fully functioning. But I wanted to refocus on the one who have more health at this point. Because again, we want to make sure we're whittling them down evenly so that we don't have to deal with the revive stitch. Okay, and this is the bit where they go invulnerable. I found that like right on the edge of the arena, those spiky things that they send at you, they sometimes just don't even hit. They killed me a couple of times doing that when they drop down. Very frustrating because you're like kind of halfway through the fight at this point. You can see I took a couple of hits there, and Jane's health is now way higher than it was. Thank you, Avakabu. He's left something green there for me. Nice. You probably should not really worry about getting those and picking them up at all, though. Because the amount of health they restore is very minimal, and most of the time, if you're going to be on-fielding like Jane, for example, he will shoot them at you consistently enough that you'll be able to just get them. You can see now that even though we got that big stun off on one of them with the disorder and the assault, now they're both looking pretty even. I say that actually, it looks like one's maybe slightly lower. That's why I'm refocusing on this one. Makes sense. Want to whittle them down evenly. Seth just randomly hitting nothing and then taking a few hits there. You can also see as well that my Jane gameplay is mostly consisting of dodging and countering. And I very rarely am sticking the the spin. Because I'm just so worried about getting caught in an animation while that's happening, or trying to stick that animation when I shouldn't. And I know you can switch out or you can dodge out of it pretty quickly, but yeah. Just the temptation to stick it might be too big. Okay, you see Jane took a couple of hits there. I think we had shield up just beforehand. But now you can also see that the Avakabu coming in clutch here. Also, completely messed up. Completely messed up there. On the plus side, both stunned at the same time. Which is a bit of luck, I'm not going to lie. But again, like I said, they do stick quite close together for most of the fight. You just got to make sure that you're switching your target each time.
Found your weakness. Careful.
Okay, back to the middle. There's an avocado green thing there. I was thinking maybe I don't go for it. I think the advice should be don't go for it. Just being careful here. We've got no shield up on Jane. Now we're about to get it back. Yeah, so when they kind of do that little bow in the middle, that is a good opportunity to use Seth, get the shield back up. And we're refocusing on the one that I think is lower, but actually they're both kind of low. Because you're much better off like refocusing and taking your time with this section of the fight, rather than when they go down and then having one res the other. I think I only had like one res while I was on screen. Did I? Yeah. But still, yeah, the res happens very quickly. So you just want to avoid it if you can. So whittle them down. This one's getting a little bit lower than that one, so now I'm refocusing and getting the other one. Really important to keep switching now. But as you can see, it's taking some of my brain power away from the gameplay. Ooh, and Jane taking a couple of hits there. Just resetting here, resetting. See, that was about to go. I'm kind of gonna ignore him, I think. Oh no, I do take it. Interesting. Yeah, and then just get this guy. Yeah, so we stun this guy. The other one's really low. He's going down. Stun's finished on that one already. That's crazy how fast that is. But we had ult. Nice. Yeah, it was really hard when I was playing it late at night on stream because I was tired from doing the other one as well and from the day. Another video of mine should have popped up now if you're interested. As always, remember to like and subscribe for better than average luck in all your pulls. Pull responsibly, stay weird. Thanks for watching. Bye, 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 bye.